Let's keep going.
Kennedy have their way, parents will once again have to worry that their kids could be susceptible to life-threatening diseases at school. But
keep in mind that this is the one candidate that is talking about the health of our kids. The one candidate. I don't know the last time that I heard a presidential candidate nominee discussing the health, just the health of our kids, the health of our communities, the disease epidemic. When have we heard a candidate even express these type of things? But now she's trying to make it seem as if, oh, he's anti-vaxxer. He's an anti-vaxxer. So therefore, some of these vaccines that our kids are supposed to get, if they don't get them, then we're putting them at risk to get really sick in school. These people are disgusting human beings. Disgusting human beings. It should get to a point where your personal integrity does not allow you to go just to validate you making money with your news station. Your personal integrity should not allow you to say certain things, to spew certain lies. It's disgusting. This is why half of the country hates Donald Trump. This is why half of the country hates Kamala Harris, because everybody's just a fanatic. Everybody's just a fanatic. There's a lack of courage. There's a lack of dignity. There's a lack of respect. There's so much fear because these people won't even sit down and have a conversation and just figure stuff out. All of this stuff, in my opinion, you could sit down the most extreme racist and sit them down with this person that I guess would not be racist, or black person, Jewish person. And if they had a conversation, just those two, we'd be in a much better place, I believe. They would get to an understanding of each other, see each other's perspective. Why do you think like that? What made you think like that? Well, you guys did this to me. This is how adults are supposed to conduct ourselves, right? But then we turn on our TVs and we just have people that will just blatantly lie, get you scared, create so much fear and hatred within us that we will never even consider the opposite side. What's considered the opposite side. We won't even consider another candidate. We can sit here all day and say, hey, you know, my values pretty much are more conservative, but I can't vote for Trump. Why can't you vote for Trump? Oh, January 6th. Okay. Is there any policy that prevents you from voting for Trump? And it'll be like maybe I get less Social Security. Bro, what? Like, out of all these other things, that's what this comes down to. And it's because most of us are selfish individuals. The people that we look up to are selfish individuals. We are not a selfless group of people. We do not sit back and say, hey, who's the best president to not only just make sure that I get most of my Social Security in my pocket, but who's the best president that's going to put our country in the best place? That's what a man does. That's what a leader does. And I said specifically men because I'm taking that shot at men. Y'all know I feel that our male leadership is just terrible. It's horrendous right now. But that's what the values of men, I'm just speaking from my position. Those are the values that we were brought up to respect and value as young men. These are the values that our fathers, our uncles taught us, and that we thought that that they actually lived by. But now you're making a decision on who's going to be the leader of the free world, the leader of the greatest country in the world, based on who puts more Social Security in your pocket? Do we not care about any of these other things going on? Do we not care about people putting tampons in boys' bathrooms? Do we not care about drag queens reading books to school kids? Do we not care about the fact that if a kid goes to school and says that he identifies as a cat, that the parents can't come there and say, do not call my kid a cat? If the boy identifies as a girl, the parents can't come there and say, no, my son's name is Brian, not Jessica. This is the world that we're living in. Look around. We can't even trust the decisions of adults. And yet we're putting all this decision-making ability on kids to make life-altering decisions. And and somewhere adults said, oh yeah, let's not, the parents, they don't even matter. We're going to make a law that says a policy that the parents don't even have any input in this decision. This is the world that we're living in.
Here's the thing. RFK Jr. is not only insulting his family's legacy, he's also trying to sabotage the party that his family helped shape and influence for more than 6 decades.
He's trying to sabotage the party that his family influenced. This is, you know, what's so weird to me? And be clear, you're going to hear about RFK Jr.'s family speaking out on him. They work for the Democratic Party. Like, knock it off. Let's be real. What usually happens in families? I'm going to keep it real what happens in families. There's one person that speaks out, that has the courage to address certain things in a particular way that is direct, that actually calls to bring about change. That person is the person in his family that is arguing every Thanksgiving. That's the person in his family that's telling the rest of the family and intimidating them in a lot of ways because they're setting the bar higher. They're setting higher standards. It's like being around somebody who decides to eat healthy. Now you're eating your Popeyes next to them eating kava or a salad or something like that, some hummus, you know, whatever. And now the person eating the Popeyes is looking at them. They feel bad. The other person is making them feel bad by them just simply like, yo, I'm just trying to be as healthy as possible for me. But you're intimidated because what I'm doing is threatening your standard. That's what ends up happening in families. That's what ends up happening. So I'm not surprised that RFK Jr. is standing out and speaking on this stuff when the rest of the family works for the Democratic Party. They're just trying to save their jobs. They're not out on the forefront trying to bring about change. We are living in terrible times in America. Terrible times. Some of our most unhealthy times. So I'm not surprised when an RFK Jr. speaks out. Let me, Iraq, appreciate you tapping in, Iraq. Been loving the comments that you've been leaving. You wrote the last one, we need to listen to all sides. We can't make an educated decision if we only listen to one side. This is what I say all the time. If all you watch is liberal media or all you watch is conservative media, that's what you're going to lean to. You won't even realize how impacted you are because everything that you're hearing just validates what you already think. It doesn't challenge your current way of thinking. People that do not allow outside sources to challenge their way of thinking do not change. The people that had the same views, that vote for the same party, that allowed them to be taken advantage of 20, 30, 40 years ago when they were voting are the same people that are doing it right now. And they'll get angry at you for not doing the same thing. Listen to all sides. If we only listen to MSNBC, they're literally calling Trump Hitler. How do we expect ourselves to be able to open up and hear another side when you have the news station that we look at all day, every day, saying that this man is Hitler? Please make it make sense to me. Queez in the building. Shout out to Ken in the building. Queez wrote, a man that breaks away from the comfort of his family has his own principles he is willing to stand on. I love that, Queez. A man that breaks away from the comfort of his family has his own principles he is willing to stand on. It's not, and this is the thing. It's like a family that's not doing well, getting upset. It's like all of y'all are obese, but y'all are mad at me because I'm trying to eat healthy. Y'all are talking ish about me saying, oh, I think I'm better than everybody else. I think I'm uppity. I'm showing y'all the articles, science, giving y'all all the game as far as like, hey, this is what could lead to if we continue to be obese. We should be working out. We should be eating healthy. We should be making sure that we're staying hydrated with fruits, not just water, all these different things. That person, imagine how the rest of the family is going to talk about that person. That's what is happening. We are being misled. Shout out to my brother Ken. Queens Road, as the kids will call it, standing on business. Exact. RFK Jr. is standing on business. And that's why I said, do I have to? Or is it the right thing for me to now bring my support to Trump because RFK Jr., who stood on business, and he brought up the issues that are important to me, and he took everything that came along with it, just like he's taking everything that comes along with this new decision that he's making to endorse Trump. Do I have to? Do I owe it to him? I really feel like I do. I'm going to be honest. I really feel like I do. Let's keep going a little bit.
Remember, his endorsement comes just days after new reporting shows his candidacy was costing Trump more votes than Harris. Don't forget, RFK Jr.'s political ambitions were financed by Donald Trump's biggest billionaire donor. So by endorsing Trump, he's confirmed what we suspected all along, that his entire goal here was to be a spoiler for the Democratic ticket. Look, we still don't know what the real impact.
This is where this idiotic take, I'm going to be honest, this is a silly take to me. You're saying that he's a spoiler, right? And hopefully we're going to hear him speak about the fact that he reached out to the Democrats and Kamala Harris, as well as Donald Trump and the Republicans. She's not saying that. So if you think that he's a spoiler, you can only spoil something if you actually have the leverage and support of certain voters to actually swing the election, right? So if that's the case, if you're giving him the credit of being a spoiler, then you also have to give him the credit saying that he would be taking away voters that would traditionally vote for us, and they would support him to spoil our chances of winning, correct? So that means that the people in your party currently, the people that support you currently, they are interested in RFK Jr. So my question would be, the people that claim that they're the democracy, that we the people, right? The party of the people. Why did you not take that meeting with RFK Jr., Kamala, Waltz, Democrats, Obama? Why did y'all not take that meeting with RFK Jr.? Forget your personal opinions on him. We the people that have voted for you in the past, they're showing you that they like the things that he is talking about. Other than that, he wouldn't be a spoiler, right? You wouldn't call him a spoiler. I haven't heard anybody saying Jill Stein's a spoiler or Cornel West is a spoiler. I haven't heard anybody saying Cornel West is a spoiler. Why? Because he does not have the support that RFK Jr. has. He's not as big of a threat because the current people that support the Democratic Party do not necessarily, they're not looking at Cornel West and saying like, oh man, we really support this guy. They don't even know that he's running. RFK Jr. is in the race. He's reached numbers. I think he's peaked as far as like 19% as far as in certain polls with America supporting him. So if he's a big enough threat for you to call a spoiler, then isn't that enough reason to meet with him? Because the people that you represent, let's be clear, news stations, these political candidates, you represent us. You work for us. It's like we're getting the relationship all mixed up. It's like an agent with a player. It's like when you're a player and you're a young player and you're just happy to have an agent, your agent's telling you all this stuff, you can get kind of confused as far as to say like, hold up, this dude worked for me. I'm asking you the questions. Did you reach out to these teams? Did you do these things? Did you send that work? I'm asking you the questions. I pay you. You represent me. And it's the same thing with these politicians. I pay you with my support and votes. So you have to do the things that I'm telling you to do. But I guess not with the Democrats. I guess they feel that they're above that.
Of this endorsement will be, and maybe, as Dan Pfeiffer just said, there isn't a big one at all. But what we do know is the headline should not read Kennedy endorses Trump. They should read dangerous conspiracy theorists join forces. RFK Jr. no longer represents the
dangerous conspiracy theorist. That is how she insults our intelligence. Dangerous conspiracy theorist. You know what's so funny? They always call him a dangerous conspiracy theorist, but I never hear them actually backing it up and saying like, oh, he said this, and this is why this is dangerous. This is why this is not true. I've never heard anybody actually expose him for saying something like when they throw all these dangerous conspiracy theories. What is he a conspiracy theorist about? What is Donald Trump a conspiracy theorist about? Like it's really not making sense to me, but I want y'all to take a look at this video because we're going to go back and forth a little bit.